Happy Thanksgiving, a day early here, but nice to bump it up a little bit here and have tomorrow to get some family time.
So when you have the bye week and a chance to self-scout, I'm sure you go through everything A to Z, but was there one area that you spent more time on last week evaluating?
Just really, like you said, going A to Z, going through our offense. And we try to do a good job week to week of really staying up to date. We got some great guys on staff that help us out with Brian Ayers and his crew where they keep us up to date on what's going on. And then chance to, during the bye week, those couple days to really go back and look at some things, but then also, get a little bit extra time to study the Raiders and get a little bit ahead.
You guys have obviously done a lot well this year on offense, but if you look at something that, okay, we could do this even better down the stretch here, what would you like to see?
I think the consistency on third downs, we've had some weeks where we've had some really efficient third down days, staying in some third and shorters and been able to execute at a high level. And then looking back a couple weeks ago in Munich, wish we did a little bit better executing on third down to extend some drives, to extend, get some more opportunities, especially in that first half.
What did you feel like were the issues getting the running game going in that game?
I think they're credit to them. They had a great scheme, good players up front. They did a nice job of really getting us out of schedule a little bit on those first down runs a few times, and it was different reasons. Not just one thing, but something we got to focus on and recommit to, which we did this week, talking through things and making sure the communication's right, and so we can get those efficient runs going, especially on early downs. Leading into those third and manageables and staying on the field.
How, as a play caller with Crosby, how cognizant do you have to be of where he is, what he's doing?
Yeah, I mean, with Crosby on the edge, where he's flying off the edge every single snap. Doesn't matter, run, pass. It seems like he's creating some sort of chaos, and he's just an elite player. Like again, we talk about this each week with some of the different defensive ends. Then you got Chandler Jones on the other side, so it's not like you're saying, hey, one or the other. So just being aware of those guys, aware of their skill set, aware of the motor that he plays with, Crosby in particular, where he never comes off the field and he's nonstop. So guys are aware of him, and then it'll be about effort and about strain and about matching his intensity throughout the course of the game.
What do you make of the rest of their defense? Because a lot of those numbers, I don't think they're probably reflective of the talent on the field when you can look at completion percentage, sacks, and interceptions.
Yeah, sure. I think, when you look at different numbers here and there, I just know this. Every week you're playing a game in this league, and every team is good. We can go and look at the defense that we're going against this week, and, like every good defense starting up front, these guys do create a lot of havoc, create some problems with their rushes and, getting to the quarterback, their ability to get to the quarterback, and it all ties in. And sometimes it's just as simple as the bounce is not going the right way for a defense here or there. But, respect them, respect what they do. They, with Patrick Graham's scheme, like every place he's been, and going back to his history with New England or with the Giants, Green Bay, he's done a good job of really matching the offensive scheme with a good conceptual way to attack them and try to be the one keeping the offense on their heels. So got to be ready for that and ready to be able to adjust and adapt as the course of the game goes.
Well, one more on the running game, but with Kenneth Walker in that game, was it just kind of the whole thing was hard for anybody to get going in that one? Or
yeah, I think to me, like the run game, just like when we talk about sacks at the end of the day, a lot of times it's not going to be on one particular thing or one particular area where you can say, if we just fix that, it takes all 11. I think, Ken's doing a good job reading things out, and I think with the way, some of the runs played out in that game just didn't go our way, so really working to get all 11 on the same page and moving forward with it.
What's the lesson learned from that one? Because I think the previous week, his lesson learned was go ahead and take the yard and the 2 yards, because by the time you get to the fourth quarter, he'll be breaking them. So what's his lesson learned from last time?
Yeah, I think from this past game there, just grinding away. We've had some success in the second half of games where, it's not always easy. Again, every defense that we're going against has great players, stout players up front, stout inside, fast linebackers. So just finding a way to stay with it, to stay with the run game. And then, hey, eventually at the end of the game, like the Arizona game or some of the games, the Chargers game there, where the fourth quarter runs really start to come through. So really that toughness and that effort and that ability to finish through 4 quarters, that's really the main part of the run game. And if we can get ourselves in a situation where we're playing even or ahead, obviously then the run game becomes more and more important, leaning on that in the second half. And unfortunately, when you do get behind in the game because we weren't good enough on offense in that first half, you find yourself in that trailing position right there, and you're trying to figure out ways to really throw your way back into the game.
You guys weren't ultimately able to finish it out. What did Geno and the offense show you after the turnover and then come back with the touchdowns and make a game of it?
Geno's just been so steady all year long. You know, the good things have happened, the bad things that have happened. He stayed right, even keeled right there. So he has never let a turnover. If it, interceptions happen here and there. Or in this case, there was the fumble that happened, and battles right back and doesn't get down on the sidelines, doesn't get down on anyone else, and has a good little self-talk there on the sideline. Hits reset button for himself, and then gets back out there and executes on the next drive. And I think Geno's done that. Like I said, through the highs or the lows of every game this season. Shown that ability to be steady and to be that calming presence on offense, on the sideline, and on the field.
Geno said that play was a design quarterback draw. Was that?
Yeah, and the last one, yeah, and then and they did a good job with their rush lane integrity right there. And again, just sometimes the plays aren't great right there, and we've talked about it that time to say, okay, we'll go ahead and just take the loss right here rather than put the ball in an exposed manner right there, and learn from it and grow from it.
Anything else?
Thank you. All right, thank you.